Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Sometimes people who tell the truth today are called names and are put down, and in time, history will bring justice to their name. I think one of these people now, without being too, how should I put it, dramatic, is Viktor Orban of Hungary, the Prime Minister of Hungary. He said a lot of things that I think there were accurate regarding the West, Ukraine, Russia, the war in Ukraine, and obviously the guys mocked him for, I think, telling the truth. Let me show you a little article here with one of Mr. Orban's statements. And I will have to say that, not have to say, but I will say it clearly, Orban is right and he will be proven right. The problem is, it's not enough just to be right. Who's going to pay for the consequences? Because you can be right in some circumstance, everybody else could be wrong, they do it the way they want to do it, then are some negative consequences. Who is going to pay after it was determined they were wrong, you were right? Is anybody going to be penalized for that? I'm afraid not. So, the same with this war. Will anybody is going to be penalized for doing this? Western money keeping Ukraine alive, Orban says. Unlike Americans, Europeans cannot make cash materialize through, and I'm quoting, financial manipulation, the Hungarian Prime Minister noted. So he's not an idiot. He already says that the Europeans are not manipulating, money, cash, through financial manipulation. And I think he's also right, stating that Western money keep Ukraine alive. Ukraine is not a fully sovereign country, since it depends on Western donations to fund government spending, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has argued. And it's the US that determines whether that aid will continue, he believes. And I'm quoting, "The Americans can pull out a lot of money with all sorts of financial manipulations, but the euro is a different story. It's not suited for that," end quote, Orban said. While it is true that Ukrainians have suffered most from the hostilities, the premier added, the country's dependence means that the conflict cannot be called Ukrainian. A nation that cannot pay its expenses cedes sovereignty to donors, he stated. Now you tell me, what did he say here that is inaccurate? Is there anything he claimed over there that is inaccurate? And if you say yes, then I would like you to point that to me, and I would like you to think this way. Put yourself in Ukraine's shoes and see, if you get all your money and you get all your food and all your houses paid by someone else, that someone else controls your life. You're not independent. He can say, okay, now I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and you're going to be a loser. Which I think Ukraine at this point is down to this level of depending on others 100%. So, and I'm quoting here Orban again. "The Ukrainians have run out of strength. The only thing keeping Ukraine alive is Western money," the Prime Minister stated. Brussels now cannot deliver on its obligation to its member states, including Hungary, the country's leader claimed, calling the bloc's support of Kiev one of the factors behind the financial shortfall. Orban expects that a shift in Washington may occur next year, amid the upcoming presidential election. In Europe, public opinion is putting pressure on politicians to seek peace. Because, and I'm quoting, "in a democracy, the will of the people and the policies of the leadership cannot be the match at odds, cannot be that much at odds with each other in the long term," end quote. He reiterated Budapest's support for peace talks. The EU has lost an opportunity to quote-unquote, localize the ongoing conflict the way former German Chancellor Angela Merkel did with the previous crisis in 2014, he claimed. Members of the 27-nation bloc suffered economically after backing the US-led campaign to punish Russia with sanctions over the Ukraine conflict, a fact that Budapest consistently raised. So, I think he is right, Viktor Orban, and I think that time will prove him right. But by that time, he might be out of the office, maybe not even alive, and if not, it doesn't really matter. My issue is with this: if I make a mistake, there are some consequences, or if I make a mistake in society, or let's say at work, or in the family, there are some punishments. You have to apologize. You have to do something for do something for it. Turn it from a negative consequence and something positive. I'm afraid these guys that right now are using our sweat, our money, our children's futures, they will not do that. They will just do like this and keep going, because you can't do anything. What are you going to do? How are you, for instance, as a European, going to change Josep Borrell? How are you? You have no power to change Josep Borrell. Josep Borrell is the appointed, let's say, foreign minister, let's call him this way, top diplomat in the European Union. How are you going to change, let's say, Ursula von der Leyen, the so-called president of the European Commission, the president of Europe that you never voted for? How are you going to change that? And many others over there, how are you? I mean, I know a case from Romania when I know some European parliamentaries, MPs, sent by Romania to Brussels, that are thugs. Thugs. They were over there, they don't even know. Anyway, I'm not going to mention any names here, but when the time comes and if I'm cornered, I will reveal those names. You all know them. The Romanians know them. I have two. One was the daughter of the then president, and the other guy was just a guy who used to speculate, with land speculator, let's put it this way. Romanians know exactly who I'm talking about. So those are two examples. Did you vote for those? And even if you did, they represented Romania over there. So anyway, my friends, Orban is right, and you pay without wanting to pay. The money is taken from you, because you have to pay your taxes, and given to someone else, instead of coming back to you and improve your life and your children's lives. Unbelievable. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.